Alex Campbell has lived and farmed at Hangaroa for a long time. He survived the fury of Cyclone Bola in 1988 and Cyclone Gabrielle this year. Tairāwhiti was pulled into a state of national emergency as Cyclone Gabrielle hit the region on February 14th. With hundreds displaced and flooding, destroying homes, bridges, and causing road closures, Hangaroa was no exception.
I suppose the difference between Bola and this one, Bola was it was a lot more gradual. We had probably 24 hours to watch the process. Gabrielle, it was over and done within the night.
Together with his wife Megen, he manages the Awapapa Station, which is a 441 hectares sheep and beef property on the Tiniroto Road between Gisborne and Wairoa. On the eve of the storm, Mr. Campbell listened to the weather forecast and headed out to the farm to move his stock to safety. On the way, he almost fell victim to a freak incident.
I got hit by a tree the night before. It just about killed me. It was a branch coming out of a tree. Just to do with the cyclone, I don't know, is it? But very, very lucky. It missed my head and it got me down the back here.
The next morning, the Campbells woke up to the devastation. With power, cell phone coverage and the internet all cut off, they had no connection with the rest of the world, like most of the region. Mr. Campbell said the locals resorted to the old-fashioned way of communicating by knocking on doors. Soon, along with other residents, the Campbells got the machines out to start clearing the roads covered with silt and mud. It didn't take long for them to realize that the Hangaroa bridge on Tiniroto Road had been taken out completely by the storm. Mr. Campbell said it was 2 days before contractors arrived to help with the cleanup.
Back in the day, we had a community roadman who had big machinery. A community roadman. He had big machinery. They had a grader and they had a payloader, and these things could travel through water probably 2 meters deep quite safely. So the difference this one, there was no support such as that. They sort of knew the roads, the people and so forth, and there was just a sort of a sense that they were there just helping in the community with the heavy. We're left on our own this time.
Another big difference was the economic situation for farmers. Before Cyclone Bola, farmers were already financially desperate due to changes in pricing structures and removal of subsidies, Mr. Campbell said. Post the 80s storm, the farmers were left with no equity in the land and no cash in livestock. The markets were at an all-time low. But post Gabrielle, we didn't experience anything of that sort. The markets are still sound. The ballpark figure of a lamb is still $150 and has not fallen. So that's a biggie in a good way. Mr. Campbell's father bought Awapapa Station in 1967. At that time, there were few trees on the property. Alex Campbell bought it from his father in 1988 and said over the years, the station has been planted with thousands of trees which have transformed it to a property rich in biodiversity and production. The legacy of 2 Campbell generations has created a luscious tree canopy that covers 1/3 of a station.
What we found out of Cyclone Gabrielle is some of those are it's not sustainable, planting pine trees on certain types of country. My father said right at the outset, pine trees are not ideal. It's too quick. The rotation is too quick. There's too much mess made, harvesting them and so forth. We need something longer term. He planted some alternatives, just small areas. Just what we've done is anything that's been harvested, we've replaced it with redwoods, with an alternative.
He said the storm was probably the first checkpoint for forestry.
There's farms that are questionable. This farmer looking at the farm, what is this farm good for now? Now we've got this logging trash that's coming off the steep country that farmers want to know what they can do with. The easy country we can plant poplars, simple. The steep country, what can we do with it? So it's a real dilemma.
Although Awapapa Station suffered many slips, the overall condition of the farm was fairly good.